mamas, mom of twins, mom of triplets, mom of quadruplets, and for my TTC mamas, this episode is for you. Today, my heart prays for you for the joy of multiple kids all at once. Now, hello, my name is Tolu, the Millennial Mom, and welcome to the Millennial Mom Show. And today, we're going to be talking about motherhood. You know me and motherhood. I'm always here for the motherhood story. You know, us as parents, when we're parenting, we talk about parenting, how challenging it is. But hold on, a lot of us parent one kid at a time. Now I have a super mom in the studio, and today's topic is going to be multiples and more, because this super mom is doing the life of multiple kids and doing much more. And I have super mom in the studio. Hello, mama. How are you?
Why are you laughing at it? I was trying to check whether you trying to describe me or maybe it was someone.
You're serious. Don't get it twisted here. So, hi, mama. My audience are looking forward to meeting you. So please introduce yourself too.
Okay. So my name is Gbemisola Akinola.
Okay.
Married, of course. Mom of 4, including a set of triplets. And I have a 9 to 5. I'm a certified senior professional of human resources. And then my side portfolio, I think I'll call myself Alaga Ijoko, Alaga Ijuru. That's the local balance, of course. So your traditional wedding compare. I do that on the side. I also have another side portfolio where I sell essentials for toddlers and kids, although that's been on the low for now. Thanks to you. We all know what.
We're going to go on.
I would say I'm still evolving, taking the journey one step at a time, learning as I grow. Because for me, I think experiential learning is the way to go. So learning and sharing is what I love to do. So I think that's just the summary.
Be the mentor.
We can take it under advisement.
You can't mentor, because I'm here thinking about triplet, mama 4, mama, like, hey, okay, now, where am I going to take you from? Because I'm thinking of all the angles to you, the Alaga, the business side of you, the 9 to 5 side of you, and the mom side of you. So, well, the Millennial Mom Show, let's take it from the mom side. What's it like having triplets?
Okay, so sometimes I'll say that it still feels surreal.
Okay.
You know, because I'm not sure, well, except as things evolve anyway. I never imagined myself having triplets, not even twins.
One at a time.
And, I was just, those people, you feel you have your life figured out,
Yeah,
so to speak. So just have 2 kids and, wrap it up. And then boom. So I'll say it as it's one journey. It changed the course of my life.
Okay.
Right. So it affected how I do things in every sphere, career-wise, relationship-wise. And we're still learning from each other.
How old are your kids? How old are the triplets?
They turned 7 in 2 months.
Still learning.
We are still learning.
They're only for 7 years, and I think I have to give it to you. That is amazing. You're the second triplets mom that I met, like, personally. Yes. Every time I meet them, I'm always just looking at them in awe, like, how are you people doing it? But I like your honesty. Actually, I love it that it changed my life, because with this motherhood thing, I think we always sugarcoat or sort of like just butter things up and try to make, it's not a big deal, but it is a huge thing, because parenting one child and parenting 3 at the same time is a lot. What was your husband's reaction?
Shout out to him anyway. Thank you for not running away. Also, interestingly, it came at a time we said we were not ready for even the second child, and it happened.
And then
there was just a minor. I had to go to the hospital, and they're saying, we need to keep you under observation. We need to run some tests. And you have triplets. I'm like, I'm not sure. It's not me. There must be a mix-up somewhere. And can't be me. In his initial reaction when I told him, I was like, see, it's not everything that you joke with. I'm not joking. This is it. It's that result. Oh, for that flip minute there, I saw the man pacing. I'm like, problem. And he was just walking. I said, see, please just come. I don't think there's anything, from then on, it was just like from then on, I know I had multiple visits to the hospital, of course, as expected. But through it all, it was a very strong support. I would give him kudos for that. So maybe one of the things I would love to say is that in this journey of motherhood, whether you have one, whether you have two, please don't feel the need to do it alone, because you really cannot do it alone.
Gbemi has triplets is telling you people, you cannot just water down that support system. It's very important. Now, that's you as a mom, and I want to ask you a question about your personal self. Who were you before kids? Who would you say you were like before your kids? Because you did say that, having triplets or kids did change who were you?
So I was your
I like your smile.
everyday happy-go-lucky.
Okay.
Without a care in the world.
Okay.
My friend needs me to turn up somewhere. I'm there hours before. I'm there before. And then at some point I became that person. I don't even want to look at my phone. It was even just to reply to messages. It became a call. And sometimes I don't just feel like talking to anybody, because not only did my interactions with people change, even my body system changed a lot, and I lost myself for a while, and it took a lot of, talking to people, seeking help, having conversations, and knowing that you're not alone in this journey. So I connected with people who have had multiples. Interestingly, I had a couple of colleagues who had twins at some point, because I had people say to me at some point, I don't know, why are you still working? That they feel, it's selfish. You should dedicate time to these children. Rich people are praying for children they don't have. God gave you on a platter. You don't. And I thought about it, that maybe I'm just being selfish. Maybe I should just thank God I did not listen to that. So it took a lot. And maybe I would also share something you might not know now. I have a child who is on the spectrum.
Okay.
One of my triplets is on the spectrum. So it was a lot learning. Before that, I was not familiar with the concept around autism or whatever. So it was learning as an individual, learning as a spouse.
Okay.
Because as our energies are also different.
Absolutely.
And the way we also, and maybe our society also kind of puts a lot of burden on us as women.
Yeah.
And this is not me making excuses or anything. It's just stating the fact that it's the woman who has to overcompensate. I've had times where my husband, because I had to go to work, or my husband takes the children to the hospital, and it's women who are asking him, where's their mother? Where's your wife? So maybe society also puts a lot of pressure on us as women. Yeah. And even when we find men who are supportive, they extend that and say, is your wife, which work? There's no work that is as important as children. Yes, I know that is true, but then, we are also saying, on the other hand, we want women who can support your family. Yeah. Because I can't imagine putting all of this burden on. Maybe you would have eventually run away. But yeah, so like I said, taking it one day at a time, learning to understand that as an adult, as a mom, as a wife, I have my own love language, and these children have their own love languages as well. So learning to be a mother to each of them. So that's why I said it's something that we're still learning every day. And I would say that it has brought out another version of myself. I wasn't in touch with, because I won't say it wasn't there. I wasn't in touch with it. So yeah.
Okay. Okay, because I really like the honesty, because for some women they don't have support system, while some women have support system. And now you are talking about the fact that you can have support system and have external factors that are also contributing or trying to put some sun inside your support system. So, women, this is for you. Where you don't have support system, or where you find another person enjoying their support system, don't try to pour sand inside their Gary. If you meet somebody's husband and you're busy, don't ask them why. Or if you meet a man carrying a baby, do not ask why. Where women also want to have their career, and when they want to have it, it's okay. It's just okay. I just want to put this out there because it is the women as well. And sometimes it's okay to understand that people's life are not going to be your life. People have the way their lives are wired. Now, the career side. How are you doing it? Because I can't say, how did you do it? How are you doing it? Because you did mention different sides of you, and that's why I'm picking it in bits and bobs. So how did you manage that? Did you get it 1 year?
I wish. Okay, so from the career bit, so remember I said I got the support of colleagues, who have pulled this path before me.
Shout out to you, people think.
And one of them, incidentally, is my direct boss today.
Okay.
And I was very open from the moment because I don't know if I will say it was the shock because I had to leave. I had to leave from the office on the day, so there was a slide, so I had to leave from the office, and that was when I found out. So the first person
you came back
was my colleague.
Wow.
To say, this is what he said. I can't believe it at all. So I think openness helped me a bit. I work with a multinational, so I spoke with people. I work with people who are kind of open-minded, and at a point I couldn't keep up with going because it was a lot of matter there. So I got extended time off. I got support that I needed. I got people reaching out to me, and maybe that time also helped me to see another side of me.
Okay,
and I would say that people began to look at me with like in a kind of superhuman.
But can't you see what I'm looking at?
But then or maybe my line of work helped me to see that sometimes you just have to tell yourself the hard truth.
Yeah.
After a while, the initial novelty of she's a mom of she has triplets. And then what? It begins to wear off. Because I couldn't keep up as much as I was. So before I had the triplets, I have a task. I want to finish it. I don't want things slipping. But I mean, life happens. Sometimes I find myself in meetings, because it takes a toll.
Yeah.
And there are some aspects of motherhood you just can't delegate.
Absolutely.
Okay, so I know some people had the concept of night nurse. I would jokingly tell people that someday maybe I'll write a journal on nannies because I had my fair share of nanny drama and it wasn't funny. So maybe because I find myself, and sometimes I now remind myself that I'm their mother. So I don't get paid to be their mom. So this person is here because. So just picture yourself that, okay, if I wasn't paying this person, would this person be here?
No.
So when I got to zeroing on that, and sometimes even my husband would accuse me, like, I don't understand. You're paying people and let me just do it. I would say supportive colleagues, a supportive spouse, above all. Interestingly, I didn't have my mom around anymore. So I'm sure that maybe that would have spoiled me a bit, but it got me on my toes.
Okay.
Saying that we need both hands on deck, right? We need all hands on deck to make this work. So it helped me to kind of put things in perspective to say I can't afford to slack on the work. So I won't say I didn't have my days in between. Going back to work was a whole new journey. But an organization is one that provides that kind of support where they kind of ease you back into work. So there's like a transition because so it felt for me like I was just starting work, like I didn't know anything.
All over.
I started experiencing all these bouts of forgetfulness and I'm wondering, is this me? I went into slow mode, but then you just have to, it's a fast-paced organization, so you just have to keep up. So, we're still doing it, but I think the energy is always there.
Okay.
And sometimes, so one thing that I would say has kept me going, I say that these children will never be an excuse. They will be my reason to continue to rest on, because if I say it's easy, even up till now, but we are winging it. But when I remember that, I have these people to support and, so I always say to myself time to time, they will never be an excuse why I didn't do something. Rather, there will be a reason for me to, apply
pressure.
Yes.
Okay, so this is for you out there, that twin mom that is watching me, that is watching us, that triplet mom. It's hard, but it's doable. Now, you talked about finance. You didn't name me because you pay her. I don't even know if I should ask this question because it's so obvious. But my question would be, I don't want to say, oh, what's the financial impact? No. What would you advise women that are coming into this type of motherhood? What would you advise them to do? Some people might not have the tenacity to be able to continue work or to be able to do, because they're still going to go to the fact that you're an alaga. Because I don't know on Saturday, because on Saturday for me, I'll just lie down like this, that God will help me. But, how do you advise them? Would you?
Okay, so there's this saying that they will say, cut your clothes. Some will say it's according to your size, or some will say it's according to your fabric. Okay, so I'm one person who will never downplay on the sense of community, because having one child is a lot.
Yeah.
Even though your body you tell us that the child will bring what they will eat. Oh, then talk about having 3 at the same time.
They didn't bring what they?
They brought.
Well, I like that they brought.
Because only if I wanted to be ungrateful.
Lovely.
So it was a lot. But then that sense of community, I had colleagues, I had friends who have had multiple births, and it was like, okay, this is not to be proud of. People were practically falling over themselves to reach out. And is on the one hand, because I know some moms will say, oh, I don't do hand-me-downs. I don't do... Okay, so maybe yes for some things, but there are some things that I need. Yeah. My children had rockers, matching one safe. They had swing, matching,
Wow.
Not because we couldn't afford, but because people reached out.
Yeah.
I also reached out. I asked questions. So please, by all means, I will say that, do what is, there are some things for me that are not negotiable, that I won't even go that route. But then, by all means, if you need support, and it now made me, I would say in my own way, I've also kind of reached out to some. It made it easier to say, oh, there could be some other people who are going, there's the one hand that some people might not be able to speak out or might not be comfortable reaching out. Or there are some of us that were noisemakers, that... Okay, so I'm not saying myself, I'm just saying that
I need a post.
Saying that interestingly, I met amazing moms on the streets of Instagram as well. Mom of triplets who I also got to connect with.
Lovely.
As well. So I asked questions, and then it was kind of what brought about the other side portfolio I said about Toodler, and because there are some things I will need. I have 2 girls, 2 of the triplets, 2 out of 3 are girls.
Okay.
So sometimes I needed matching things that we just couldn't find sometimes. So you have to speak with people who had that experience. So where can I get this?
Okay.
And sometimes, so I just said, this one that I'm always looking for. Why not just start this? And I spoke to one of my business mentors who does that. And that was how that started for me as well.
Okay. So I'm going to take... I don't know which one I want to do first. I think I wanted to do the alaga, then I wanted to do the motherhood. But let's talk about the motherhood side. And for me, I feel like at my current age space and where my head space is, one of my most proudest moments, I think it's my birth, my children's birth. And I have 2, and both of them were different. I can't... The memory is still very vivid, and I think about it and it makes me feel very, warm inside. And now that's just one. What was yours like?
So talking about the birth experience.
Yes, of your triplets.
Okay. So, I love to read a lot. So even before I started having kids, I'd, pictured in my head, just drop 2 albums and then we close the record label.
Shop don't close.
And from the moment, I said I had an experience, I had to go to the hospital. Doctors started telling me, Ms. Akinola, don't you want to consider going abroad? I'm like, abroad, is it that? Is that? Stop when it I heard about the vanishing twin syndrome that at the end of the day, it could end up being 1 or 2.
For real?
I said, So we started, I started to talk to my husband, and then I met an amazing, amazing doctor.
Okay.
Part of talking. So I was just talking one of my appointments. He said, where do you work? And I mentioned, incidentally, his brother worked there.
Okay.
I know him. I didn't know they were related, and gave me some advice and said, you know what, I think you should insist on seeing a consultant because this is not your everyday
kind of pregnancy.
And so for some time, I think he wasn't around, and so I think it was just good, right? And then at some point, there was a procedure that was supposed to have been done that didn't get done on time. And when I walked into the theater to get it done, the nurses were asking, "No, are you here to take it out?" I said, "No, I'm just here to get it." And they were looking at me like, "Is this what? Are you normal?" So I learned so many things along that journey, and on that day, I would say my doctor, he tricked me. He had given me a different date, and I just called him that morning, told him I was feeling, told him the things I saw. I'm being careful, says not to mention something. And he was like, "You know what? Just come to the hospital. You just relax, not knowing they were already preparing the theater."
They didn't want you to be worried.
So I guess it was not to get my blood pressure up.
Okay.
And, from everyone I interacted with on that day, so that's why I would not play with God. From the person who administered the epidural, I spoke to his wife. He just called his wife up on the phone. "Oh, I wanted to meet this amazing superwoman." So I said everything was just, so I mean, there is God.
There is God. There is God, people.
And I say that is, interestingly, I got to the hospital. I met mothers who had been in labor hours before. I had met mothers who were going to have, had just one single bed, who had been in the hospital 2 days. I met them. I left them in the hospital. And I let it I will never, never, never take that for granted. So it helped me to get in touch with, life. God is just, because none of this was planned.
Okay.
I mean, and yes, like you said, so maybe this is just an appeal to those people that will say, I have 5 children. It's not just what's there. Our journeys are not the same.
Absolutely.
I would have prided myself that I'm not a first-time mom, but it wasn't the same experience. And not because they were multiples, because what I then had to deal with after having them was another level. So please, and my colleagues, some of my colleagues have said it to me recently, I have a bias for pregnant women. So when I see a pregnant woman, I just want to love them deep. Sometimes I just, like flashback. Please, don't worry, just sit down, relax. Sometimes I just have to question myself, before they see there's another thing inside. So shout out to every mom.
I think Maria women enjoying their attention.
Who is working hard, because your whole system is working hard to bring another life to this planet. Yeah. You are doing well.
So now I have a personal question for you. And it has to do with myth. I'm Yoruba, and there's this thing they say about twins. Ewabeji, and those little things that you do for twins. Does it apply to triplet?
Okay, so I heard a lot when I had them. So from my dad calling me to ask, who is it, the same placenta? Like, from to getting their names actually. So I was told, I said, I'm not naming there's no way I'm calling my child Eta. I'm sorry. I don't even like the title. Okay, sorry, not to disrespect anyone.
Yeah.
So they all have their own individual names.
Okay.
So someone telling me that we're supposed to go to the Oba's place. The Oba is supposed, I said, in this generation, do I even know where the Oba's is?
Because that's what I asked. That's what I asked, like, we say it a lot.
Yeah, people say a lot, at it. I have, one of my daughters is actually very outspoken. I don't know where she gets it from.
Yeah.
And from one day, she just told me after church, "Mommy, I don't like it. Everybody's always calling me Eta, Eta, Eta. My name is not Eta. My name is Fola." So I said, "Chantal, she's what?"
Did you explain to her the reason why people do that?
So yes, she'll say, "Yes, I know we are triplets, but my name is Fola. My name is not Eta." And I had to explain to her, that, it's because, when people have twins and all of that. And she said, I know, but I mean, yeah, I'm sure she's used to it now, because when people see her and her sister, it's not like they look alike, but when people that don't live with them, of course, they say, so they just call her, "Oh, Meta, Eta, how are you? My name is Fola." my name is Fola. I'm not still do that,
But hey, if you're doing that, please, you say, well, I'm nearly a leg.
And of course, we know these children now, they are in a jet.
Yes, sir.
They are past. Because sometimes I'm wondering that, am I the one that gave in to this child? I'm your very calm, reserved.
Are you? So what are their personalities like?
So that was, so earlier on I was talking about learning to love each child for who they are.
Okay.
Yeah, 3 different human beings.
Isn't that good? Isn't that sweet?
3 different human beings. And so sometimes I learned to, so there was something happened one day. I had a friend over and my other daughter, she cried and I was running and she was like, one more for that. She used to think, I said, no, for her to scream, I know that they must have really pressed her buttons because she's very sweet and affectionate. She has that motherly wanting to look after everybody. So for her to, there must have been something that really, really hurt her. They are even teaching me patience. So that's one thing my children are teaching me now, patience. So sometimes I take my time to listen. There's that bit of, I don't have the luxury of, you are the older one. So that is, because there's one of them, I used to remember, see, you are born on the same. In fact, when I want to press her button, I say she's your older sister. He's older by 2 minutes. She doesn't like this. She will be like, no. And it just helps me to apply that to other situations. Like, people are not the same.
Yeah.
So something that sometimes I as the parent, I'm angry on behalf of and I'm like, don't put your mouth. So that's one thing I've learned, not to put the person that you are correct. The next minute
they'll gum each other,
hugging each other. I'm like,
where do I stand now?
So just this week, my older son didn't go to school. He had a bout of malaria, so I just preferred to have him at home.
Okay.
And while we were at the hospital, he was just like, Mommy, I want to go home. They'll be back from school. I'm like, they'll be back from school. Who meets them at home? And only for us to get back. And I thought, I missed. I'm like,
you people just left the house.
They cannot stay 5 minutes without arguing. And I felt like, I missed. I said, hey, so is the trip from school to home and all of that. So learning that children's mind work differently from. So let's not project our own insecurities. And when I was can I speak Yoruba?
Please go on.
You hear people like, all right, I just please leave my children alone. They are not being raised with that, so I don't. When they speak up for each other, sometimes something happens in school. Is a sister that comes home, even the person that doesn't tell me.
Yeah,
and she was like, even when she failed in school, I'm not going to talk to so person again. She was crying. She couldn't even tell her sorry. I'm like, you're taking it this personal. So they have that bond. There's nothing that can take away that bond. That's if we in society that we are raising them, don't, we're there to guide, to help shape them. But that's childlike innocence. I don't always like to tamper with it. Let them, don't worry, I'll just sometimes tell them, when they come and report, Mommy, I was sitting out there before and she said, I'll just say, sorry. I don't say sorry. Another will now call you. Why are you sitting now? Why are you? No, I don't do that. And that's why I'm like, just leave them. They will sort it out. So because they need to learn how to resolve issues amongst themselves. We will not always be with them. At least I don't follow them to school. So they need to learn how to build this interaction. So incidentally, you hear me saying I have a daughter that was outspoken.
Yes.
The other girl, very sad. She didn't. But interestingly, she's becoming, she's speaking up for herself, and I'm all the, proud mom moment for it, and she's telling you no, and I'm doing a double take that, is this you? And she's even telling me, please call grandpa. I need to tell grandpa. So she had a little home accident where she was missing a few of and how when my brothers call, my dad calls, and they're saying, take her to the dentist, they'll say it in Yoruba, so that they will not fix plastic. And I would think that my children don't understand Yoruba. Only for a couple of weeks ago, she says, please call Fika's daddy, that's my brother, and call grandpa. I need to show them that my teeth is growing, so they're not going to put plastic. I was,
so you heard?
Like, okay. And I had to call. And when she called, she was like,
you can see me now. Look at me now.
And one of them, likes to really, so at home, she's grabbing the bottles. Welcome to your talk show.
Okay.
I had to get a tripod stand for her.
And let her do it.
And, I recorded a few things. And I sent it to their school owner. And she was like, I put stuff on my status. And for like, when are you going to open a page? I said, I've not gotten there yet. So learning to support, understanding their individual strengths. So I know what their strengths are, and I try to play around those strengths, because I believe that maybe if some of mine had been tapped earlier, I would have been.
I was going there. It was going there. Because I was already to finish. I was going there, especially when you said, oh, grandpa called and he asked for certain things. And I wanted to ask that all these things you're doing now, brothers on what we now call gentle parenting. And I was going to ask you that. Do you feel like I think you even answered the question. I said, do you feel like you're parenting the way your parents parented you? Is there a word like parented?
Absolutely. So I'll say maybe I'm doing a version 2.0. Oh. Okay, so I'm sure I must have mentioned my dad a couple of times.
Yes, yeah.
So I'm a daddy's girl. Proudly so.
I love it. I love it.
And I'm an only daughter. So I've always been.
I see why.
I've always been close to my dad.
Oh, lovely.
And interestingly, when I lost my mom, my dad is a very handsome grandpa. So even all the while I'm sure there's no doctor, there's no nurse that did not experience my dad. From why is she on this floor? Why do you expect her? Why do you want to take this out? My dad was very involved.
Oh, wow.
From the time he heard I was having triplets, he was like, what have you done to my daughter? Daddy, I love you. So my dad is a very supportive father. God bless him, and God continue to preserve him for me. So my dad just telling me, this is what you want to do. He's asking questions. He's trying to get you books. So there was some time, some of us, we have those energies that we're always kind of bored.
Yeah.
So there was some time I was bored, and I said, okay, I wanted to learn how to sew. I actually know how to sew. I have a sewing machine. That's also part.
If you tell me that you sew, I will just follow you. So
I actually used to sew.
Okay.
And get paid for it actually. My dad bought me my sewing machine. She encouraged me, urged me on, then supported me. So I'd been saying I also wanted to be an alaga for the longest time ever. So the first time I experienced them, that was 2002 at my older brother's wedding. He just fell in love, and maybe because I knew, I don't want to call her name on this call because I knew her. She was also a working professional.
Okay.
And then when I see the sheet, I'm like,
this is doable?
So, and then when I wanted to do it, my dad was like, no, so there's this perception that used to be around people like alagas, or so people feel that you are forward, you are, all over the place. But I'm glad that the narrative is
changing,
kind of changes. I wanted to do it for the longest time ever. And they'll say, no, my dad is, no, I think, and interestingly, I went for the proper classes after I had my triplets. During, when I was on maternity leave, actually.
Please.
I said this thing that I've been saying, because there's nobody I ever told that, oh, I like to do something. Yeah.
Just didn't bother.
You can do it.
Just went for it.
So I said, I didn't even tell anyone. And I started the class and I sent a picture that I'm in class. I'm learning how to be an Arab. Like,
let my know. With this one that you say, how many did you have nannies when you had the triplets? And how many? This one that you're able to go past during.
Okay, so I had a fantastic nanny.
Okay.
One.
Mm-hmm.
When I had, but at some point I had to add another one so that somebody could focus on the chores.
Okay, so chores like a house assistant and the nanny.
And then because for me, my children, even as much as I had a nanny, my children were always with me, so I don't get anybody to don't do nights, leave me and my night visit alone.
Okay.
And I was breastfeeding them.
Okay.
So
it was a lot.
It was me and my husband. I just love you. So it was two of us doing the runs together, because once one of them wakes up,
everyone is awake.
It's going to be a symphony. I can't even, and I just wanted them to have. I don't know, maybe it's old school me. I didn't do exclusive anyway. But of course, they were not. I think till about 11 months.
Can I whisper? Is it possible to do exclusive with triplets?
I will not say it's impossible but I know that for everyone that asked me that, how did you do exclusive? I did a
Mix.
I did a bombastic side eye.
Good. But I'm wondering, like, is it possible to do exclusive?
At some point, if you see my pictures, at some point, even my husband had to tell me that, please, it's okay. Before they will say, I'm not taking care of you. Take it easy because it's a lot.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. So,
okay.
Please. Yeah, and I had to return back to work. So, I mean, only if you want to.
I understand. I totally understand. Now, I'm going to wrap it up by, you've already given one financial tip for a mom that is expecting multiple. Now, give a hack, and give a mom hack, and give like a tip on mental wellness. Yeah, give a tip on mental wellness and give a mom hack for mom of triplets.
Okay, so maybe she say for that mental health, please don't play with it by any means. And what do I mean is, sometimes as women we want to bottle things up.
Yeah.
And there's this what they call it postnatal
depression.
It is real. I had a bout.
Okay.
But thankfully, because I'm somebody who talks a lot, people noticed and reached out.
Lovely. Yeah. That's nice.
And I had amazing support system. My family, I won't trade them for anything. I had my brothers bringing me food. Because sometimes I didn't want to do anything. And after that beyond, I think I just had to make that conscious effort. I was on a call this morning and somebody was saying, I don't know how you do it. Look at your nails, look at your hair. He was being conscious about it because I know that there's that tendency for us as mothers to want to let ourselves go. I'm not saying that I'm prim and proper all the time.
But this time,
I try to make an effort.
Okay.
Yeah.
The hack.
So,
mom of triplets hack.
Mom of triplets hack. So one of the biggest things I struggled with is prioritization.
Okay.
I still struggle with it.
Okay.
I know somebody who will come from my head when she hears me saying this because it's something I've struggled with, allotting time and all of that. So one is just find a system that works for you.
Okay. So
in my house, we do a lot of color coding. So everybody knows that this is for me. This is, and this thing, and I involve my children a lot.
Okay.
So we play. If you see me playing with my children, I'm on my hands and knees. I'm on the floor. We are rolling. This morning we've pulled each other's legs. And when it comes the time to be
get on it. We'll get on it.
I'm that mom. Just we're asking them a few days ago to say, this, and they say, who is this? Take this. My children like. So I play with them of also helping them. So what I want is for them to be independent. And I tell anyone who is working with me at the time, there are some things that I want them to do by themselves. So don't dress them up. They can wear their clothes by themselves. Let them do it themselves. Their bed. You don't lay it. You will lay it before you sleep. So these little things, knowing that you can't always do it for them. I went to a boarding house, and I know some of the things I had to start doing earlier on
in life.
On my dad was not there, so I believe that.
If you're at home, why can't you do it? If you have the capacity to do it when you're in secondary school, you can do it.
It kind of gave me some street sense, kind of. So involve children. So I think sometimes we overcompensate as parents, wanting to do, and it makes. And I say, it will not be my children. So mothers, please, let's learn to involve so that you yourself, you can rest. Learn to involve children. Let them learn. Yes, they'll make mistakes. Even we as adults, we make the mistakes. They'll make mistakes. So those basic things. So my children know that when they come back from school, my shoe goes here, my socks goes here. So even if you are not yet washing it, don't make my life. Don't let me be picking clothes. I'm not going to be happy.
Okay. So you're a mom of 3.
Yeah.
You're a Compere.
I'm a mom of 4.
Mom of 4 now. Sorry about that. You're a mom of 4. You have all of these things going on for you. Forget the hair and the nails and all the good stuff. So, you're a mom, you're a wife, you're a professional, you have your side gig. I just want to ask you, what do you do for self-care for yourself that is outside of all of these things?
Okay, so sense of community, and I have a number of accountability partners.
Okay.
From my friends who said to me a few weeks ago, that each time they see my pictures, I have the tired eyes and asking me to come back and tell them I have a call with them later today where I'm going to go to, just to relax. And so where, of course, I can't do that in the immediate. I just love to prioritize my me times.
Okay.
So my me times could be me in the house, just me alone, relaxing, not necessarily sleeping.
Okay.
Just relaxing and telling, of course, everyone who needs to feel I'm
out.
I'm unavailable. And maybe just a reminder to moms out there that it's not selfish for you to want time for yourself. Yeah. You need it to stay sane.
Absolutely.
Because there is a lot, resting on your shoulders and you cannot give what you don't have.
True.
Because you are I don't know if I would say you're a well.
You can't pour out of an empty cup.
And you can't pour out if it's empty. So please prioritize your me time. Sometimes I just don't want to take calls. I just want to relax. And it's okay.
Yes, it is.
You can't be everywhere every time. Just take time to relax and think and some other ideas, and you're thinking about the next things, but then you are refreshed and then you can apply a better version of yourself.
That is lovely. Thank you. Thank you for coming to the show. Thank you for giving us a small time. Thank you for all the tips. You've heard it. Gbemi has told you about the mom hack, the financial side of having multiples at the same time. She has also told you that you can have it all in little doses. Balance it. You can be this, it can be that. It might be hard, but it's doable. Gbemi wants to make me have triplets. She makes it sound so easy, but no, not me. I'm passing it to you. Yes, you look into me. Now that you've given us all the gist, all the juice, all the hack, we've had a lovely time. I want you to plug in the part of you that we didn't even get to talk about so much. You as an alaga, please plug in your business because we have people out there that are looking to hire you because they enjoyed this session. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So my business handle is Gleeful Alaga. Or Gleeful Alaga across all social media platforms. You find me there.
Okay.
So they call me the Alaga with the oil of gladness. So if you are looking for a traditional wedding compare, time conscious, will not harass your guest for money, I will give you what you want straight to the brief. I'm your go-to person. Please just reach out and I'll be more than happy to bring your memories and create lifetime memories with you.
See, that will not harass them for money. It's very, very key. It's very, very key.
We do it for the love of it.
You see, please contact Gbemi. She would really, really deliver. I can tell you that for sure. So thank you very much for coming to the Millennium Mom Show. As much as you feel like you make me want to have triplets now because it seems so seamless, but no, I'm pushing it back to you. Yes, you're looking at me. And please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and send this to your mama that you feel like is going to need this. Triplets, expecting quadruplets, anything. Or even just if you want to learn from this amazing, amazing mom, just share, like, subscribe. And it's me, Tolu, your host on the Millennium Mom Show. Don't forget to live in light. Bye.